Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. We are powered by advanced trading. Well, today's quote board looks a little different than yesterday's, and we had a lot of price action yesterday. Some really scary things happened yesterday, and you might not have even known about it. We have some headlines today, a lot of chatter about aviation fuel and how that's going to affect and what the Biden administration did on that. I think both Connor and Brady will be able to talk about that. I'm going to head to LaSalle Street, look at prices. Brady's co-hosting the show today, and Connor dialed in something new we're trying to do. Joe, take us to LaSalle Street. Let's look at the markets. July corn down 2, D's corn down a little also. D's corn down 3 1/4, a little more than that. July beans down 1, no beans down a half. Wheat, border trade wheat, hello, third day of downness. We're getting a good 40, 50 cents off those highs. Border trade, July wheat down 14, KC down 11, Minneapolis down 6, cattle unchanged in the June, feeders up, hogs up. 94 hogs, well off those prices from just 5-6 weeks ago. Take it to Wall Street. Gold up, silver down, interest rates coming back. That was the culprit yesterday, folks. Interest rates absolutely exploded and went to a level that sounded off the alarms. Crude oil down, natural gas down, Dow Jones down 360, approaching that 38,000 level. Don't forget, every time I show you those charts, if we don't hold 38,000, we're probably going to a new lower level. NASDAQ down 80, still the strongest of the three indexes. S&P down 17. Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things up 1,500. And with that, we haven't talked about milk much this week, but milk holding in there well off the highs. Dr. Copper having a bad day. Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading, ATI Pro Media. Let's bring in B Huck, and we do have Connor B ready on the phone. Connor, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, buddy. You sound great. Look at Brady. It's so easy to make Brady laugh. You know, he's like the little kid you could have fed him and said, "Here comes the airplane." He would have been laughing and eating sweet potatoes and stuff. All right. Connor B is in his office. He's just not in his studio. In case you forgot what Connor B looks like, he looks like that. There's the little guy on the phone. All right, break it down, boys. What do we have? I got a feeling this is gonna be a short show. Call to action. What do we want people to ask us? Do you still have corn to plant? Is that the call to action today?
I like it. Yeah. What's it look like too? How's the stands? How's the crop growing? What stage is it in? What's it looking like? Tell us about your crop. Would love to hear that type of feedback.
Yeah. I talked to some clients in North Dakota, and they have received a lot of rain recently, more than I realized. A lot of it was planted. It now needs to be, some of it's replanted. And it became cold, like they were 70s and 80s. They're having highs of 65, 70. Always interesting farming up there. Never easy. I don't think you could talk to a North Dakota farmer and say, tell me about the easy year. And same with you, Brady. You're like that too. Tell me about the year it was just easy to farm and ranch in Kansas. Kind of doesn't exist, right?
Well, no, oftentimes you manage for that problem you had last year, the year before. Was it dry last year? Let's manage against a drought, and then it's a wet year the next year. It's the challenge of farming, the challenge in ag. It's different every year. There's always a challenge. We just don't know exactly what it's going to be, and it's going to be different every year. Same in marketing too. Challenge in markets, different every year. But
yeah, absolutely. Headlines. You want to talk about a couple headlines we have?
Well, first headline, before we throw that one in there, it rained last night in Kansas, Tommy. I woke up about 4 a.m, and I heard this weird sound on my roof that I hadn't heard in a long, long time. There was some rain in Kansas. That was great to see. But we can talk about that next headline there. Aviation fuel. Little to no ethanol going to qualify for this sustainable aviation fuel credit. It sounds like, I think the Biden administration promised, 30 billion gallons of fuel would meet this would fit this bucket and then be a huge thing for farmers. And then you got those last minute requirements of no-till farming, high efficiency fertilizers, cover crops. And I think you have to do all those together. And there was a quote by ACE Ethanol, the American Coalition for Ethanol CEO, Brian Jennings, that I thought was interesting. It said, I have not had a single ethanol producer member contact me and say, we're going to meet the climate smart American ag requirements. So he's not getting these phone calls saying we're gonna do this, we're gonna meet this. That's very concerning, Tommy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got some stats for you guys.
Okay, Connor.
Bring them on.
So to qualify for sustainable aviation fuel, you have, like you said, Brady, you got to do no-till, efficient fertilizer, and cover crops. 33% of U.S. cropland acres, no-tills. 26% would it qualify for the fertilizer application, 6% cover crop. So you add all those up together, right? That's a very small window. And I know a few people that do it, but nationally, that's a small window for people that are going to qualify for it.
Mm-hmm. Clearly a policy that's dedicated to driving some climate-friendly change out there, right? They want to see those numbers increase.
Yeah, it's a good thing Connor was on the show today. He's half coughing over there and everything else. He's having a hard time. Interesting. With that, real quick, guys, I'm trading while we're doing this, and it's going. Are you hearing my fills or no?
I don't hear your
You're not
fills.
hearing dinging or danging, Joe?
Are you
Look at
getting
me.
filled? Sure you're getting filled,
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, well, I short some corn. I bought it in. I mean, hey, play along with us, right? Yeah, well, interesting times.
Yeah.
If it was easy, I wouldn't be hosting a 9 o'clock show. I could tell you that much. Dees corn on the lows, down 4.5. Questions, comments, what do you have for us today? We'd love to talk to you about what's going on in crops. We've noticed farmers been a little busy lately. They've been focusing on getting the crops in. We notice live viewership still very high, but the going to watch the recording down a little bit, which we expect. Hopefully you're working so you could feed the world.
Tommy, I was talking to Tony Dunker last
Mm-hmm.
week a little bit, and just talking about marketing and market plans and stuff. What's going, because she's experienced and has been has done this many seasons, and just getting her insights. And we talk about the price action here, and we're at 475 D's corn. We've already been here, Tommy, right? So it's for a farmer to engage at 475, it's very difficult because it's not a new high. It's not $5 corn, 505, the numbers we haven't seen. So it kind of gets to that tough time as a marketing guy to get some stuff done with guys if you're not in new territory. Interesting insight from her.
And also to add from that, from a trader's perspective, when we've traded this range, like say corn's down 4 cents right now, it would be nothing for corn to go up to because the sell orders aren't in there, because that scale up selling of the farmer. Well, just checking real quick, the highest price I want to look at corn and look at Dees corn. But while I'm doing that, talk about what Connor asked you right before the show. That's why we're a minute late. Of what day last year did we talk about last year's price action? And I say, we always think about last year. If you had weeds in this field, you're treating it for weeds in that field. You may not have those weeds in that field this year. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, very interesting. Go back and look at a Dees 23 chart, and we sold off from January, basically from fall harvest into May, and we traded a May low of 490 on May 18th. Then we rallied in just a month's time. We rallied up to 629, just that big, massive rally, but we gave it all back the next month, July 5th, we sold off to 485. So we saw 490, 629, and then back to 485, all in a month and a half's time. Got a second chance to market things in July with a rally into the July 20th timeframe. Didn't touch $6, but it did give guys that felt a little regret, maybe the opportunity to pull the trigger at 550, 570 area. But a wild rally there from May to June. And having conversations with guys here recently is, you get that text every year of, why didn't you push me? We did a special on it. Why didn't you make me do it? And God, I feel like we're kind of still in that time frame a year. 475, it's not a sexy number, but if you have some decent basis opportunities, maybe it allows you to lose a little less money. What scares me is what could be, if a 2+ billion bushel carry out, and some of the demand headlines you talk about with Argentina, and if the U.S. doesn't see demand and that carry out continues to grow, what could be. But we want to be optimistic. It's fun. Bulls make friends, guys. Right, Connor? Bulls make friends.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely. You know what I think it comes down for me is the month of June. Every year's different, but we know we hit the high June, July. What's that stat? Multiple years, right? So I think doing nothing marketing wise in June is not an option, in my opinion. We need to be ready to make sales. If making that sale scares you, get some insurance on there. If we're really scared to making sales, guess what? We can protect it on paper as well. So June is not the month to be complacent in marketing. That's my call to action, Tommy.
Yeah, real quick, if you really want to get bummed out, thank you for watching. I got a bum you out fact. So for those very prices that Brady just quoted, I went and looked at my charts, because the crop when we did have that spike up last year from markets collapsed real hard. I'm just going to talk July prices. The July contract right now that's hovering around 450. Okay. It spent a lot of time above 6, and then it collapsed down to 518. And then on that spike Brady's talking about, the very futures that are trading 450 on that spike last summer, you could have sold at 605. And so, incredible amount of farmers, when we broke from those highs to those lows, said, if we ever rally again, I'm going to give it all to them. They didn't. And the reason we know that is there's so much carry out, there's so much old crop, there's so much weak basis and spread action. Check your cash markets, folks. Over the last few weeks, as the markets rallied, the cash market softened a little bit. And as we get into this crop being planted, we don't have to worry about, well, I better keep my cash market firm because I don't know what's coming in for new crop. There will be a new crop of some sorts. But the highest, the July futures that are 450 right now, spiked around, call it $6. They went to 605. And then they went all the way down. I just think you feel better because they went to 425. And then they spiked back up, but they're going right back down. This is me looking at a weekly July. We've had way better prices. And to Brady's point, the scariest person out there, the scariest marketing person out there is the one who says, put target orders on prices that you like. That's funny. That's humorous. And they get paid for this. Hey, put target orders that'll make you profitable. If there's 100,000 real corn farmers in America, there's 100,000 different cost production, and the market could care less about what your cost production is. And we could beat people up about it. I could even mention names of who these people are, but that's fine. Everyone has a right to have a business. They're not doing anything illegal. They're just giving you advice, in my opinion, that if we continue to go lower, it won't work.
But it probably came with a free hat, Tommy, right?
Hat, stickers, the whole deal. Hey, speaking of hats and stickers and all that stuff, we just ordered a bunch more stuff. Luke, if you're out there, we did order sweatshirts yesterday. I got a couple cases of someone's calling my phone, but that's a telemarketer. I don't have to answer that.
We're not going to bring him into the show. We could.
No, we are not bringing that telemarketer into the show, and we'll be getting a burner phone this weekend. All right, real quick, Connor B, we're going to pop you out just for the sake of, is there anything you want to talk about, Connor, or you're good?
No, I'm good.
You start smiling and dialing, and we'll see you, buddy.
See you, Connor.
All right, he's out. Yeah, that's funny. I looked at my phone, it said telemarketer. I'm like, oh, heck no. Okay.
Spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, questions, comments, bring them in the show. Luke, we ordered your stuff. We're having a show. Here we go. Well, actually, Luke, roll the slide, Tommy G. 0 days since last bird flu headline, 4.2 million laying hens in Sioux County, Iowa. No fun for those involved at any level. I'm sure the local corn basis is down this week. We deleted that slide just because we used it enough and it's negative, and we don't want to be like the I don't know which news station does it. I think it was CNN, but they constantly roll this headline and it would go like this: breaking news, and it would be like, a child fell off their bike in Des Moines, Iowa, but they're okay. All right, back to the show. I mean, we don't want to be a fear-mongering live network at 9, but it is affecting people's lives, and that is true. I think you all are so busy in the field that this market going down is going to hurt you more than you think. And to Brady's point and Tony Dunker's point, we've traded these ranges. Today, there is nothing new going on in corn, wheat, and beans, except for they're a little lower than where they were yesterday. The biggest thing you should be watching is your cash market on those old crop bushels and starting to get ready on your new crop. And we're going to have a harvest regardless of price. Is that true, Brady Huck?
Yeah, it's going to come and it's going to be here. And this interest rate environment is an environment that's going to create a different environment we've been used to the last 6 years, where cash flow matters, and that hidden cost of what those interest rates cost you, your operating note, what that money's doing for you. Is the grain the best place to have your value parked, or is it the best to convert to cash? So it's just a different world, and I think that's going to impact the harvest sales. These wheat combines are going to come through, and we're going to have spots with great harvest and some spots with a little less harvest. But those bushels, they're going to go against the operating note. They're going to be converted to cash really quickly, early, and then we'll see what these markets do afterwards. But that harvest is going to be here pretty quick, Tommy.
Yeah, real quick, folks, special announcement. We'll have a thumbnail for it tomorrow. But June 13th, we're having a ATI ProMedia is going live from Bloomington, Illinois. Connor Bridgman's hosting a meeting for his clients. We do have, Connor, show me with your fingers, how many extra slots do we have for ATI Pro Media live streamers 10 extra slots, right? Yeah, 10. And so if you want to come to the show at corporate, there'll be breakfast and lunch served. We'll go live, ATI Pro Media live streaming. We're then going to do a fundamental review. We're going to have some other guys from corporate. We're lining up a few other special speakers. Then after the markets close, we're going to do a roundtable where we discuss the state of all markets, whether it be interest rates or anything else. We'll record that. That'll be that day's premium. We have 10 slots left for people. If y'all know where Bloomington, Illinois is, if you need recommendations for a hotel or anything else, we'd love to have you. June 13th, Bloomington, Illinois, special ATI Pro Media, going live from the corporate office, getting ready as we prepare to go on the road a lot. Real quick, speaking on the road, one guy who travels a lot and does a ton of content, Mr. Jesse Allen. Jesse Allen was yesterday's premium content. Joe rolled that. Jesse Allen talked about interest rates, cattle, politics. Nice talk. Congratulations, Jesse and family. Jesse had a little baby boy. Actually, his wife did. And boy, does he talk to a lot of people. You can listen to Jesse on Market Talk. You can listen to him on AOA. It's fun to me as a broker, him as a host of several shows, to just talk about, hey, who have you talked about? What are you seeing? But when Jesse was on yesterday on ATI Pro Media Premium, we put up my quote board, which I don't do real often, but the whole thing was red. I mean, grains, red, cattle, bloodbath, stocks, murdered. And you could see the risk off event. And when I showed him the bond market, he's like, what do you think's going on? I go, right there, the bond market went to a level that you can't lie your way out of higher rates. You could say they're coming down, but when it's coming in the end of month of May, tomorrow is the end of the month, and interest rates are actually, I don't want to say exploding, that's so dramatic. They're definitely not going down, and they're inching higher. And so these people with this 50% chance of a rate cut in September, that's down to like 40 or 35 now. So some real things happening there. Folks, ATI Pro Media Premium, we'd love to have you subscribe, doing stuff every day. Have a new contributor coming on today. Real quick, I want to run the commercial for the ATI Pro Media. How do you subscribe? Joe, run the commercial real quick. Welcome to ATI Pro Media, powered by Advanced Trading. We're a financial channel that loves agriculture. For just $1 a day, you'll receive advanced trading research, actionable text, and a minimum of 6 videos a week featuring industry experts and insight. Click the button below to subscribe today. All right, we're sending out those texts. We know you're out in the field. You know, yesterday wasn't the happiest text I ever sent. It pretty much said all those things. But there's guys out there so busy, Brady, they don't have a clue what's going on in the markets. I mean, they got their head down. They're loading a seed tender. They're aligning stuff. They're like, what was the market? I mean, when wheat was exploding, I had wheat farmers who had no clue that wheat was up limit that day. They're like, wheat was up 38. I didn't know that. What the heck's going on? By the way, if you're calling into us and saying Russia has a problem, the markets knew that 6 weeks ago. So if you're calling in and saying, hey, I hear Russia has a problem, you are a little late to the show. That news was sniffed out of the markets starting around, believe it or not, truly April 15th. April 15th, we tried to dip down. Since April 15th, we've done nothing but rally, coming back. We're about a fifth of the way back of the move. Still a very healthy move. If you're out there and you're growing wheat, any form of wheat, we need to get some sold, some protected. I think this was a gift. And I'll say this before we end the show or any more comments, Brady. Where the heck would corn be if wheat didn't rally $1.50? And I say this almost every day on every show.
Yeah.
I think we'd be right back to the lows.
Yes. The wheat has been the leader, right, for the last month, weeks. It's been dragging this thing high. And, you know, those days where wheat was 30, 40 cents up and corn's up 3 or 4 cents. What would corn be doing on those days if wheat wasn't where it was and doing what it was? Absolutely. I think to your point about, you know, a production problem in Russia, or, you know, there's a production problem somewhere in the world every year, right? Drought, flood, it happens every year. But yeah, gift on these prices.
Sometimes in more places. I remember where several years we were bailed out by a South American problem, then a Europe problem, then a this problem. One thing, our folks over at Grain Stats had some nice statistics about the funds are really long Matif contracts. They're long like Matif wheat, Matif this, canola. So over in Europe at the Matif, the funds are really long over there. And that's more of a Black Sea, France, you know, that area problem. It'd be interesting to see the commitment traders. What if we come in on Friday, Monday, and we found out that the funds added more to their corn shorts? So here we get into the end of May, beginning of June. July options expire around June 22nd, give or take. And then we're going to see that next flush, just like we noticed on the March options expiration and the March futures expiration, which is, you know, you have to first notice day a few days after options expire. Watch that June 20th to 25th time period. Folks who have to price grain off the July futures, the very $6 July corn you could have sold a year ago is now $4.50. And so that costs a lot of money to lose $1.50. You lost a lot more than the $1.50. Of course, if you're out there, you'll say you don't understand. We didn't know if we had it. It was hot and dry. We understand. We truly do understand the risk of what goes into farming and agriculture.
It's not easy, right?
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
easy to make decisions. That's one of the hardest parts about this is making the decision. But understanding what it costs you. You can't bury your head in the sand. You can't ignore it. You can't, not look at the market. So you got to work with somebody that's going to try to keep you between the ditches and help you confidently make those decisions.
Yeah. Any more questions or comments out there, Joe? Anyone else?
Looks like that's all we got today.
Pretty quiet, he says, wrap it up. All right, everyone. ATI Pro Media, Brady Huck, Dodge City, Kansas, Tom Grasaffi, Valparaiso, Indiana. We'd love for you to subscribe to ATI Pro Media Premium. We say these videos are going to get shorter, but we had a really good time visiting with you. I hate to leave 225 people watching, but hey, want to watch us? Join Premium. See you this afternoon, everyone, on the Premium channel. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.